Hello. So these a couple of my last videos, interesting responses. So the one about the bathroom thing. See, a lot of people seem to think that was about a bathroom kind of issue. See, I don't know. Maybe some of yous could rewatch that or something, because I'm thinking it was about people asking questions that aren't literally the question that they ask. Like another example is you're in the office getting some coffee and someone says that you barely know. They're just, hey, how you doing? They don't want to hear, oh, my mom died and this is terrible. Or even, oh, it's great, my daughter just got into Yale and blah, blah, blah. They don't want to hear that. Sometimes, if I ask, I do. So it's another one. So my thing is opportunistic. If there's some sort of issue with people and they're shitting, that they have a hang up, that's probably why they use a non-literal question. But here in Hawaii, it's like guys are over here and like, hey, you mind if I piss in the yard? Actually, in California too. Oh, what was that, Lily? And then that makes sense. It's like, hey, that's nice to ask if you could, but of course. But you see, it's sort of, so it's just nobody that asks if they can use your bathroom is expecting you to even be able to say no. It proves they're asking some other question. That's the point of that. And then people are like, ooh, you have a bathroom. You think about bathrooms. Ooh, you have a bathroom. Yeah, right. Like I mentioned bathrooms. That means I must have a bathroom issue. Okay, let's move on. The other thing was the one about listening. And just surprising answers. Maybe you do have to listen if everybody's saying. No, maybe people don't really know what... the whole premise of that video is that if you're really wondering if someone is listening to you, you can't base it on how they shut up while you were going on and on. You can base it, however, empirically on them paraphrasing you. If they weren't listening to you, ask a teacher. If they weren't listening to you, they won't be able to paraphrase you. There is an available test. It's funny to me because I happen to know a lot of times people that you think are listening to you at the point where they're like, oh, I figured out what they're saying. They just start thinking about other things. I wonder what I'm going to have for dinner tomorrow. I like pie. They know how to appear, give you the signals. They know how to give you signals, and you buy those signals. Hook, line, and sinker. See, I know because when I get those signals, it's like, if I get too many of them, I'm like, this person isn't listening. And you'd be like, you're a good listener. And a lot of you, not like or Layla or anybody that comment on this, but a lot of you, bell curve, you don't know what you think well enough to recognize what you've said in what someone would paraphrase. I know that from experience too. Well, maybe you should, hey, I'm 44 years old. I've talked to a lot of people. I'm not just like one person said, so in my video, I'm like, for example, thought experiment. Somebody is talking for 20 minutes, and in the first 2 minutes, you get the whole idea. Thought experiment. Yes, in this case, you got the whole... Is that possible? Yeah, sometimes you can do that. I've been many times, and then I think I've got the idea of this, and then I wait 20 minutes, and I'm like, actually, it was less of an idea than I thought even. It's like, they're lucky if the idea I got wasn't, giving them the benefit of the doubt. So, thought experiment, 2 minutes, assuming I got the idea, and a person, perfectly friendly, decent person, no offense to that person, but, it's like, well, they need it more than you. And someone was like, You know, a lot of people think while they talk. Well, just tell me you need some time to think. You know, and I'll just have my own thoughts for 5 minutes or 18 minutes instead of you telling me words that are really just hiding the need for you to create a thought process. You know, but the person said, and this is justifiable, you know, it's like, well, thoughts are words and language is thoughts, and it goes back and forth, so maybe they well, you can tell if somebody is thinking out, well, no, you probably can't. I can tell if somebody is thinking out loud or if they're just blowing smoke and polishing mirrors, right? It's distinguishable. You don't think so? But I think at this point in my life, my actual life, I mean, I'm taking offense at this idea that they need it more than me. They need me to listen to them, give them the notion that I'm listening to them, when in reality, they're just saying the same thing over and over. I mean, what is listening for? It's to make you feel like I'll do nothing while you talk? No, I'm going to be thinking while you talk. Right? And that's the whole interruption thing, too. It's like, if you say something so interesting that my mind is like, holy shit, I can't handle. I mean, this is awesome. And it starts to spark and I want to say something back to you and you have more. Well, if you make me wait till you're done, I'm going to have forgotten that. You're going to be proud of yourself. In 2 minutes, you gave me so many ideas, I'm already ready. And it's like, no, I want to walk you through a long series of things. Fine if you know that I'm already prepared for that, but just because the feeling of being listened to, I mean, that's pointless. I don't want to do that to you. It's one thing I like about videos. Stop the video. I give indications that, hey, this isn't the video for you. I mean, I'm not trying to say, hey, you know, what's important here is that, you know, you listen to me. And I'm not the only one. You can see the video view curves they show you in the Google or whatever, YouTube analytics. You know, it drops off rapidly as people decide whether this is for them or not. Now, I personally don't try to convince people up front, this is for you, this is for you. I like people that are a little bit like, I'm still going to see if it's for me. So, I mean, I stack things antisocially, probably. But be that as it may, people are assessing, you know. And I look for this too, by the way, in terms of this thought experiment. I mean, this comes from me many times listening to people all the way through. That's another funny thing. I admit that, I interrupt sometimes for these reasons. And people are like, yeah. What do you mean? I'm big enough to see that it happens sometimes. I'm also, therefore, competent enough to see that, no, it's not it's not like I don't have any experiences of that, of listening all the way through to the 20-minute speech, a lecture. I enjoyed lectures in school. You know, an hour of someone going, this and this and this and that is linked to that. I love that long train of thought. I'm into that. So once again, how many of you are even into that? So yeah, I can judge these various kinds of communication. Yeah, I'm offended by the idea that somebody that wants to, just as a thought experiment, go on an extra 18 minutes on the premise here in the experiment that I do already understand them, why wouldn't they, not just me, but why wouldn't they want to say, I would want to save that 18 minutes. And I'll fully admit I love to talk and to hear myself talk and all the things, the insults and everything. But still, if I could know that somebody understood me in 2 minutes, I'd be like, great. I'm trying to get ideas across. It's like, no, I'm not trying to get ideas across. What I'm trying to do is be listened to. What would that even mean? The premise of that video is that you can tell if someone's listening to you if you are willing to listen to them paraphrase what you've been telling them. Hello? I'm not trying to convince you. There is no, I can't make a movement and make money off of you believing this. I'm just telling you so that you could maybe take this into account. You're not sure if someone is listening to you or someone thinks you're not listening to them. Paraphrase what they've said. And people are telling me that, well, you should just say this and I understand. That's what I'm talking about. I paraphrase people. But you shouldn't say exactly what you said in your video. This has happened hundreds, thousands of times. I'm 44. I've had conversations with people my whole life. And you think I gave one phrasing, I used it? No, I'm an experimenter. I've done all kinds of ways of introducing it. And most common it is like, what you're saying is this, right? Is this what you're saying? I do that. And people still go, oh, but you're not listening. You're not listening. Why? Well, because you cut me off when I went off on that tangent. No, they go off on tangents, okay? Let's just face facts. No, we're all equal, and if they say it's not a tangent, it was the point, not the tangent. No, that's not how it really works. And if it does work that way, then I'm saying what the point is. What's the problem with that? I'm sure someone will tell me, well, the problem with that, you simply don't understand. Remember, this is an 11-minute or 12-minute video based on 44 years of experience. So don't try to think I quoted exactly the essence of every single thing. The point is that people take points strangely, right? I can talk about literalism. The domain of the literalism is bathrooms, so people are thinking about their bathroom hang-ups. So that one worked for sure. It's a stand-up philosophy thing. So that was a total success. And then talking about listening, the premise that I would have thought was clear was that you can double check, you can figure out if you're being listened to and so on. There's an experimental way. What is it? And then why would you say, maybe it's true? Well, yeah, maybe it's true based on whether I really get what they're saying right or not. And I do. I've done this. I've checked. I've paraphrased people. I understand them. I tell what they think honestly to third parties, and in the end, they don't feel misrepresented. I do it professionally and in personal life. Yeah, I have a lot of experience with this. I mean, keep in mind, I've been this way, you know, taking things like with this kind of contemplation for, 30 years at least, if not longer, if not the whole 44. So yeah, I have seen some of these things. It isn't just coming from like one conversation I had. Now I'm generalizing. So if you want to catch the mistake, it can't be so simple as like, hey, what you need is 3 different words. Or did you, it might be, did you ever think of putting it this way? To which I'd go, yeah, of course. Or, oh no, I didn't. You've seen my comments, they go both ways, because I'm honest. But it's not just going to be some simplistic idea, in either one of those. It's funny. It's like I'm trying to say it's a literalism, but really I just wanted to talk about bathrooms. And then the thing about me listening, it doesn't even matter if I listen, really, does it? I don't have to listen. Not by my rights, right? Unless for some reason it's in my best interest to listen. Yeah, seriously, you think I don't listen? You guys don't know how scanned and listened to you have been. Yeah, I think I could characterize a few of you because I have been listening. Not out of my intuition or ESP. All right.